I'm going to go ahead and get started because I don't like waiting on people. I wanted to talk about the numerology of the year of 2025 because I really started to pay attention to universal years and the life path numbers and personal year and all of that at the start of or the end of 2023, and this year 2024 being a universal this year being a universal 8 year has been, I miss you. I've been asking about you every time I see Haley. It's been true to the power of a 8 year for me. I have definitely enhanced my embodiment of abundance consciousness and been able to point out some of my lack poverty consciousness. I've pushed my limits on some things and come to see myself as more of a limitless being, and like all of the things associated with the number 8. But we are moving into 2025, which will be a universal 9 year. So it behooves us to be aware. Yes, ma'am. It behooves us to be aware of that 9 energy so that we're prepared, so that we're able to look at things from that scope. And also, we're needing to know what our personal year is. Do y'all know y'all's personal years? So my personal year, I'm going into a personal year 6. 2024 was a personal year 5 for me. And when I tell you, you a personal year 9 girl. Oh, wow. So I'm a life path 1, and I'm moving into my personal year 9. The personal year being the number most associated with your birthday each particular year. So my birthday being March 21st, on March 21st, I'll be entering a 6 personal year, which means I have a stronger capacity to get booed up, because 6s represent like balance in relationships and unity in a relationship, but like a strong focus on my friendships and connections, and seeing like reciprocity or where there's a lack of reciprocity in those connections, being of service, as 6 is a very humanitarian associated reading, which I plan to definitely be more of a resource to the community. And as I said that, my phone lit up and it is 3:21, which I just said my birthday is 3:21. When I tell y'all, numerology ain't no hope. Like, all this shit is aligned. I know I don't have to tell y'all that. Y'all my people, y'all my tribe, y'all know the business. But for those who don't work with numbers in that way, I'm telling you, numerology is like a cheat code for real. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this universal 9 year energy. I'm also offering live readings, and if you want to make a donation, you can make a donation to my Cash App. And then the live readings, if you want a live reading, just 1111. If you don't want like a card reading and want me to tell you what your numerology for your life path and your I've been saying it the whole time. What the fuck? I can't think of it now. Your life path and your personal year, that would be a numerology reading where I could give you your own personal numbers and what that means for you in this coming up year, and you can send that payment to Cash App as well. But yeah, this 9. The first and foremost, 9s are about closing out cycles. So we're literally closing out a 9-year cycle. So it behooves us to take some time to think about the last 9 years. Where were you in the beginning of that cycle, and where are you now? And what do you want to manifest? What do you want this next cycle to look like? Because 2026 is going to be a universal year one. And so we're going to spend this next year, 2025, nipping shit in the bud, tying some loose ends, closing out this 9-year cycle. And it behooves us to know and be grateful for the lessons we've learned, what we've gained, what we've released throughout this 9-year cycle as we approach another 9-year cycle. That's why I like to spend my New Year's Eve and the time leading up to that intimately. Like, I have partied on New Year's Eve before, but in the past few years, even if I'm traveling, I have liked to be by myself. This year I think I'm gonna be vending, but Jay, what up though? How are you, boo? We just over here talking about the numerology of this here new year, and I was just letting the people know I hadn't really even gotten into this 9 energy, but it's definitely an energy of closing out cycles. It's an energy of nipping some shit in the bud, tying some loose ends, and also getting very serious about what you want to manifest in the next cycle, as 2026 is going to be a universal 1 year, which is all about new beginnings. So I'm good, boo. How are you? The download that I'm getting right now is that for those of you who see 111 a lot or 1111 a lot in this upcoming year, it's going to be reminding you of the seriousness of the new beginning that is ahead, this new chapter that will be opening up with 2026. Of course, you want to be as present as possible and just enjoy the year. Oh yeah, me too. When I tell you, like, I had wrote in my journal the other day how I literally saw 1111 like 4 times in 30 minutes. And it was like different sources that it came from, because we're walking through a new portal. 1111 represents that portal energy of like stepping into a whole new trajectory. And for many of us, it's going to feel like a full out quantum leap. How much things will have changed on our journey. Oh yeah, it's not a game. It's not a game. Sin said hardcore in the last 2 weeks, almost every day she has been seeing 1111. I have too. I've been seeing it a lot. And actually 1111 is the number. Ooh, I'm having all manner of sensations in my crown chakra. So that is something to be mindful of too. The energy that you entertain, like what you put out and what you take in. Yep, 1010. 1010, 1111, 555, 222, and 711, 411. Those numbers have been pop, 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 whacking me all upside the head. Closing out them cycles, 1010. But it's time. You know what I'm saying? When you think of a 9-year cycle, that's long enough for some shit to have came and done what it needs to do. You know what I'm saying? So we're really in a position of, oh, damn. Okay. I had a shamanic journey. And I was wondering at which point and in which platform I needed to share that information. And now is the time. And that is why my head was hurting, because that message was coming to my crown chakra and now coming out of my throat chakra. Okay. So, and the head pain is gone. But I had a vision that I walked into the sun, and it was an image out of a tarot card that I have, the 8 of Cups in the Light Seers Tarot. And I'm I'm walking toward the sun. I want to show y'all the image of the Eight of Cups, and without having to get up and get that deck, I can just look it up online and show it to you. But if you've ever seen it, that's a beautiful deck of cards. It's one of my favorite decks. Bam. So in shamanic practice, you can enter another realm through the underworld, the upper world, or the ordinary world, the middle world. And so I didn't have an intention for what world I was going into. I just knew I wanted to take a shamanic journey. So I had everything set to do it, and as soon as I closed my eyes, I saw myself as this lady. And there's a sun rising over here. The energy of the Eight of Cups is leaving behind what no longer serves you, which is what she's leaving behind right here. So I'm walking toward the sun, and I walked into the sun. It was like a portal. It looked like a light bridge of some sort. I walked into the sun, and it was like it swallowed me whole and closed up. And on the other side of it, I was a mermaid. I washed up on the shore, and I saw a castle on a hill. It was dark. It was like some medieval time shit. And I went into this house, but I didn't walk into the house. It was like I washed up on the shore. I looked up. I saw the house by itself like some shit out of a horror movie. And then the next thing you know, I'm in the house, butt-ass naked, watching the fire at the fireplace. And there's a guy sitting behind me, and I am affirming this man and healing him and all of these things. I'm leaving out something, but anyway. And like giving him life, right? And after that, I saw a shamanic ritual taking place on that very same shore that I washed up on. They placed leaves on top of me, and then poured some kind of liquid that activated the healing medicine of those leaves. And it was like I dissipated, and they saged the space where I was as if to like cleanse the energy and close out the ritual. And what I took from that is one of the things that I am leaving behind in this 8 year, mind you, that card is the Eight of Cups that represents what you're leaving behind that no longer serves you, is this archetype of me being a rescuer. Because it was like I went in to heal and rescue this man who was grieving and destitute, right? But in that journey, I released that version of me that has always felt the need to run to people's rescue. And in this 9 year that we're going into, if there are any loose ends or remnants of that type of shit in my life, I already know that I'm being called to cut that shit out, to nip it in the bud, to close out this cycle of being the rescuer. Because it has no place in this new chapter, this next chapter, this 2026 universal 1 year that is coming in. So I share that personal experience with y'all to provide some context to just how important the numerology and paying attention to your numbers, your sign, your dreams, the signs, the synchronicities are. Again, I'm moving into a personal year 6, so my relationships are going to have a profound effect on my journey, how I move forward, the quality of my journey. But I'm also a life path 1, which means I am a born leader. I am meant to walk some eras. It's just our 333. I'm meant to walk some parts of the journey as a leader and be comfortable with solitude should I need to be in solitude. I am very much meant to be a sovereign being. So So again, it's important to know those numbers. Do y'all know y'all's seeing? You said you in your personal year 9. Do you know your life path number, or is that your life path number? Which one was it? That 9. So why y'all tell me what your wrong book life? Oh, that's your life path number. So I wonder, does that speak to like you when it comes to closing out cycles? Do you feel like you're a catalyst? You a life path 9 too? Okay, we got the 9s in the house, in the building. Lovey's Legacy. Hey, boo. How you doing today? So I am doing accepting donations. I'm also taking payments for live readings, as well as like numerology readings. So if you're wanting me to share your life path and personal year number and some information about it, just shoot me a cash app and I would definitely get that to you. Hold on. Oh, Ralph, thank you. Did you want to read it? He's so sweet. Good. I'm glad you're well. We got to catch up soon. When the last time you been here? In my mind, you were supposed to come to Memphis and not tell me. Ever since that one time. Ever since that one time. So I'm going to share some information with y'all about the numerology of 9. And it's going to speak to your life path as a 9 anyway, right? Because the energy is the energy. And one thing for certain, two things for sure, the energy don't lie. Ralph, if you still here, thank you so much for the donation, boo. I am so grateful. And if you want to read it, let me know. Because you know I got you. I also, before we separate from one another, want to okay, cool. Do you know your life path and personal year numbers yet? Because if not, I can definitely provide that and what it means. Oh, okay, cool. You ain't been back. Okay. Look, we good then, because I was finna be fussing. Like, wait a minute, you been here and I ain't seen you. Because I so enjoyed you. So, when it comes to numerology, I have a go-to book. And it is Numerology and the Divine Triangle. I didn't know how renowned this book was when I bought it. I just was in the book thrift store buying books, and it stood out to me. But it has been such a helpful tool. It is by Faith Javane and Dusty Bunker. So if anybody's interested in tapping in with that, let me know. I'll send you the title and the author, or you can watch the playback and take a screenshot. But don't feel like you bothering me if you want to ask. You know what I'm saying? Because I would definitely send it to you. That's one of my love languages. Sharing things that I found value in with the people that I find value in. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to find the number 9. But I was saying I want to share with y'all too the tarot cards, the major arcana that align, that energy that aligns with the number 9 as well. Okay, I got you. Y'all with these life path 9s, honey. It's about to be on and popping for y'all. So it says 9 is a selfless and compassionate energy. Encompassing a love for all, it desires to apply its energy to universal service. I told you that well, I was talking about 6 at the time, but yeah, it's a universal, it's a being of service to humanity. So like, we gonna be being called to deepen more into service. I'm coming, love. Keep doing your thing. I'm following the live and the journey. I appreciate you. You know, I appreciate you so. But yeah, it's energy of being of service. So we're gonna be being called to be of service more personally toward the collective and in our lives, but also the world is shifting into a more service oriented capacity, because people are gonna need it. People are going to need it. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but at the end of the day, in order for change to take place, some huge things are going to have to take place on the world scale, and that is going to look like a decline in employment. It's going to look like food disparities. It's going to look like natural disasters. There are going to be things that take place that are going to push us as a collective into service more. When you think about it, when you see people on the news and there's been some natural disaster like Katrina and stuff like that, that's when we jump up as humans and start to be of service to one another. I hate that it's that way. I wish that we could be more of service to one another without it having to be some drastic thing that occurs. And of course, it's occurring like on the ground, but amongst us as communities, it doesn't get as much shine or media attention, right? But on a global scale and within government, there's going to be a shift in the need for and the answering the call to be of service to humanity. So that's an energy that comes with the number 9. It bestows an impersonal but just view of life, one that is generous, benevolent, and patient. If you think you're going to rush through this year the way you may have rushed through 2024, it's going to call for some patience. There are things that are going to occur in our lives on a day-to-day that's going to cause us to slow our asses down some. Take your time. If it's something that's got your nervous system all over the face and got you rushing, you're going to have to reassess that thing. Whether it's taking a long, hard analyzation of your schedule, the people around you, what you're pouring your energy to, but you're going to need to slow down. 9 is the artist and thinker who has developed skills through the preceding cycles and is now ready to share his or her knowledge with the rest of the world. For those of you on this live or watching the playback who have been called to teach and share your knowledge and wisdom and your experience in some way, this 9 year is going to call you out. You about to be called to center stage, and it ain't got to be on no big old platform. It could be amongst your friends and in your community, amongst your family, where you're showing them how to do something that you've learned how to do or how to maneuver through some situation. JRT says, yeah, 9 is said to be the secret master number, and the number itself can be found in many fundamental systems of reality. Like we have 9 systems in our body, 9 planets in our solar system, etc. Very fundamental energy that 9 brings. The ions are in their final state of completion. You preaching. Listen. I gotta show you something. You saying that, I gotta show you something to confirm what you said, because the other day I'm listening to Dolph preach and looked at my phone. It was 4:44. The ions are in their final state of completion. That really confirms me doing this live, because I was in hermit mode, y'all. I wasn't coming out. I wasn't posting no videos. I wasn't going to do no live, even though the seed had been planted in me to do it. I was like, nah, I'm straight. And it was like God was saying, yeah, no, preach. Get your ass out there. Mic up. So here I am. But that's what it's going to be for y'all. Like, you going to be called out. So if you think you about to hide in your huddles and your holes and your caves, and no, they're calling finna get louder and louder. They have traveled the entire cycle of 9 parts, ingesting experiences along the way. Now, in the closing cycle, they reach a total understanding and tolerance of others' views and prejudices. Up to this point throughout your 9-year cycle, 9 years ago was what? 2015? 2015, 2016, something like that. My math may be off. But think back to there where you were at a universal, you were at a 1 year, and how your tolerance has changed or has not changed. Because that's going to speak to your growth or the lack thereof as well. If you haven't built a tolerance for people's difference of views and the way they live their life and how they do their thing, that's something you were supposed to have learned throughout this 9-year cycle. 9 is ready to give back to the universe some measure of what it has learned through the 8 previous steps of the cycle. The law of cyclicity allows for no waste and demands input for output. Ain't no more constantly taking. And that's another thing. Them people in your life that be taking and don't give, that lack of reciprocity, they got to go. They got to go. And because they got to go, y'all gonna have to draw stronger boundaries. We gonna have to draw stronger boundaries. The law of, okay, I already read that. When this is done willingly, the completion experience under 9 brings only joy at the gift of life and the freedom with which to enter the next cycle unencumbered. I don't know about y'all, but I value living an unencumbered life. Being sovereign, not being bound by other people's toxicity and the toxicity imposed on me by this world and how the world says I'm supposed to live, look, operate. Vagina! Hey, boo. I like to say your name just to fucking be saying it. It just seems so rebellious. But yeah, shout out to my boo. She just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you're not following her already, make sure you go over on YouTube. She's a dope ass astrologer. Check out her content. So don't just subscribe, watch that shit and learn. Because she gonna tell you what's going on in the cosmos. She also does personal private readings as well. But the key words for the number 9 and its energy are love, compassion, patience, universality, tolerance, selfless service, and endings. I cannot expound on emphasize the ending thing enough. Tie them loose ends. If you're not sure what loose ends you're needing to tie, you may want to book a reading. If you don't want to book a reading, even if you book a reading, you're still going to have to be present and mindful enough throughout your journey in this upcoming year to be able to identify what you can no longer take along the journey with you. So, Ralph, if you still here, I'm about to... I saw where you had put your... Did you put your birthday? If not, put your birthday so I can calculate your personal year and your life path. And if there's anybody that's interested in having some information about your personal year and your life path, you can send your payment via Cash App, and if you're interested in making a donation, you can do that via Cash App as well. I have it pinned below. Happy Sunday, honey. Now, Raph, if you don't come in here with that birthday, I'm just gonna send it to your inbox. So, no rush. No rush at all. But yeah, you all are needed to know the universal year and how pertinent that is. Your life path number. Okay. Baby, my math in my head is horrible, but I'm going to take a stab at it. So that's a 6, 9, 6, that's 15, that's a 6. So you're life path 6. I'm going to check behind myself with my handy dandy cackalacker. And then Yeah, that's a 6. You're a life path 6, which makes you very conscientious. You let me know if any of it resonates with you. But as a life path 6, you're very conscientious. You have a desire to bring harmony, truth, justice, and a sense of balance into environments. And getting to know you, that is so true about your personality. Like that I've picked up about you already. Like if you're involved in something, you want it to be fair. And you don't mind being the one to bring the justice. And you strike me as the type of person that if you say something, you're going to say all of it or you're not going to say nothing. So like picking and choosing your battles wisely type of thing, and being blunt. But it says love and compassion are uppermost in 6's mind. It can therefore be an effective teacher, counselor, or healer. Doubling down on that teaching. I don't know what it is you being called to teach, but it's gonna keep tugging at you in 2025 if you have not done so already. Others are drawn to this 6 energy because of the understanding which emanates from it. The ions under 5 had the opportunity to experience many events and emotional encounters. They are now ready to take on social and family responsibilities, or the 6 vibration. 6 is a domestic and artistic vibration, and under this number, the ions must adjust to the needs of others. So being flexible in order to achieve that balance is important for you. Not being too rigid. 6 desires a close companion, marriage, and a home and family where beauty and harmony prevail. So that it says you have a real value for connection, family, communal support, things of that nature. A need for group harmony and service to the community follows naturally. 6 settles down, blending into the conservative element of the community where it can create better standards of living. Gifted in the arts, it can also express its creative potential through its developed sense of balance and become a fine artist in its own unique field. What does your creative expression look like? Do you paint or do you create in some way? Because that's something to invest more into, or invest in it in a different way. Finding a way to do it differently, expand when it comes to your creativity. And I'm also picking up that this universal 9 year, like I've been saying, anything that would hinder you investing in that aspect of yourself, it got to motherfucker go. It can't stay. So you may see some dissension there where your creative endeavors and energy and output takes a priority. That and service takes a priority over some other things that may have been a priority in your life. So that's your life path, your 6. But your personal year is, so we're moving into a 9, and that's a 9, is it? 9. You in a personal year 9, sugar. Yep. Closing out some shit. That's doubling down on that energy. That intensifies it even more. You're closing out we're all closing out cycles, but for those of you that are life path 9s and personal year 9s, it's just gonna be even more intense, that energy of the 9 for you. So again, more love, more compassion, more patience, more universality. So thinking about the whole. I like to look at that in terms of, like, you know how people are like so black, blackity, black, blackity, black. And I'm black, in case ain't nobody noticed, right? I am absolutely a melanated being. And I am all for black people's cause. But more than being a part of the black race, we are a part of the human race. And more than being a part of the human race, we are a part of the universal race, universal citizenship. So it's going to behoove us to think along those terms. We are not the only inhabitants of this world. We may be inhabiting this earth, but we are not the only inhabitants of this world. And even on this earth, there are other living beings like the animals and the plants that we need to be mindful of and be better neighbors to, right? So yeah, unless anybody else wants a numerological reading, that is it. If y'all have any questions, let me know. Feel free to reach out should you decide you want to get a reading or make a donation or anything at a later date. Because I'm around, honey. I'm outside. I didn't want to take up too much of y'all's time on this good old Sunday, but I had to go ahead and do it while the blood was running warm in my veins. Oh, right quick before we close out, the tarot cards that are associated with the energy of this universal 9 year. The Hermit is the major arcana card in the 9 in the tarot, that's represented by the number 9. So many of you are going to find yourself surrendering to a path of self-discovery, solitude, reflection, isolation, and also opportunities to shine your light. So when you're not alone, you're sharing your experiences, you're teaching, you're leading by example. People often look at the Hermit as someone who's alone on a journey, but he shines that light so other people can see it. And the Hermit prioritizes and values solitude, not because he's always by himself, but he values his solitude and the people who are closest to him, who are meant to benefit from his light, so they can get to him, so he can separate himself from the crowd, and only those who are meant to benefit from the light can find him, right? So that's an energy of this upcoming year. And then also you have, it's another major arcana card that is significant to a universal 9 year. 18. And 18 in the tarot is, in this book they have tarot breakdowns too. So if you decide to invest in it, it won't disappoint. The Star card. No, that's 17. What's 18? Yeah, the star card is 17. 18 is the moon. Shadow work. You're going to need some time to yourself, because you're going to need to do that shadow work. Looking deep within yourself to see those parts of yourself that you up to this point didn't want nobody to see. So that you can get comfortable with them. So that you can learn how to use those parts of yourself and integrate your light and your dark. So you want to look into the energy of the moon. You want to align your daily activities with the moon cycles and where the moon is. So like tomorrow we have a new moon in Capricorn, which is a double new moon. Like it's a rare black moon, meaning we've had 2 new moons this month, which rarely happens. But you want to use the new moons to manifest and the full moons to release and learn the different significances of the moon cycles in between, like the waxing and the waning moon. But you want to work with your emotions and go within. All that being outside and on the scene, not to say you ain't gonna do it throughout a whole 365-day cycle, but this 9 year is going to call for you to go within and focus more on your emotional health and your subconscious. So pay attention to your dreams. What's up, Fit and Focus 7? How you be today? But yeah, so the moon card is going to, that energy is going to be very important, doing some deep healing and bringing up some of that repressed emotion. Some of you are going to be called to work through your trauma. I'm definitely recommending like Reiki and different energy healing modalities in this year, increasing that, because you're going to have experiences that are going to trigger repressed emotions. So yeah, unless y'all have any questions, that is it. We have run the full gamut of the numerology of this new year that I have to deliver. So with that being said, y'all know where to find me. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel already, make sure you go over there and subscribe. I am almost at 1,000 subscribers. But until next time, y'all, peace.